Welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is Bryan CP Steele, and I'll be your nerd today. But in fact, I won't be your only nerd today. Today, I have a special treat. I sat down electronically with two of my favorite people, content creators from TikTok. D&D content creators that I absolutely fell in love with their stuff, and we'll talk about that here in a second. I won't take long on the week in Bryan because it's been pretty steady week. You know, a lot of work. Officially started digging in on my part of the Tome of Monstrous Might, currently at Kickstarter, doing really well, smashing through stretch goals. Got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of words down for the Shadowrun novel, and sank my teeth into some official spycraft actual words on page. So we're getting there. We're getting there. It's been a good week. Weather's been pretty nice. Everything else has been treating me pretty well. So. I don't have a lot to say as far as, you know, the week in Bryan, aside from that, you know, it's just been solid. I haven't been able to run the Arcane Promise, our Spelljammer show, for a while, just because people are starting to get busy again. You know, schedules are hard to match up, mine included. So it's just one of those things where we'll get us another episode here pretty soon. Hopefully, might be a chance that I may have some other stuff to share with you shortly. But yeah, no, it's just been a solid work week. Nothing, you know, no fireworks, nothing crazy, but nothing bad either. I do want to say, I want to give a quick shout out. So a couple episodes ago, I mentioned that my laptop got broken, and the laptop that I use for the hobby rig, and that my one of you amazing subscribers, viewers out there, Russell Rosen, he offered to fix it. He owns a computer shop, or works at a computer shop, and offered to fix it. So I sent it out to him. Well, I got it back, and not only I gotta say, I'm gonna take a moment to say how cool Russell is. Not only did he fix it, but, you know, so I open up the box and I find my laptop in there, and I'm like, yay! And there's also this little pink foil wrapped up thing. I'm like, weird, okay. You know, when I sent you the laptop, it was in one piece. I don't know why I'm coming back in multiple pieces. And I open it up and I can tell that it's a piece of computer hardware, some kind of drive that I don't recognize. Again, not a computer expert. But I take a look at it, and then I get a hold of Russell and was like, hey, what was this thing? You're fearing that maybe somebody else, you know, part of someone else's project or something like that got stuck into my, got stuck into my thing. So I let him know. I'm like, hey, you know, there's this thing. What is it? He went out of his way, above and beyond, to not only repair the broken charging port, but he went out of his way and replaced the hard drive on my laptop, something that I believed was, like, you know, beyond what you're really supposed to be able to do with most laptops, and changed it for not only a bigger and better version, but faster and a more up-to-date, technologically speaking, version of the hard drive in my laptop. So Russell, I know you'll see this. Thank you so much. You're one of the good ones, and again, I don't know what I did to deserve all of you awesome viewers out there, but I'm glad you're there, and keep spreading the word. Let's get more subscribers. All right, so this week, like I said, I have special guests. I did a Q&A with my new friends, Luke and Anna Kimbrough from TikTok. And before I actually get into the interview itself, let me go ahead and take a second and show you one of the kind of content that they make, and the reason why I immediately just was like, "Oh my god, these guys are great! I want to know more about them. I want to be on their Christmas list. I want to invite them over for Thanksgiving. They're amazing." And let me just show you real quick what uh, how the kind of content they create and the reason why I was like, these are some awesome people and my viewers need to show them some love. So here we go. Here's a quick little clip of something from theirs from TikTok, just a sample of what they do. 1 second.
Last year, yes.
Roll initiative.
Oh, God. Wait. Roll performance.
For laundry?
You bet.
Hey, I'm gonna fill up the bird feeder.
Alright. Nature check.
Wait.
So yeah, that's the kind of content that they create. Just these fun little 1 minute long clips of them being themselves. And what if you had to make die rolls for everyday life? And they have some other stuff on there too. But that's the stuff that really made me that I gravitated towards them as an entity. And so a couple of weeks ago, I reached out to them and was like, "Listen, I love your stuff. I would love to interview you on my YouTube show." So I got a hold of them. We talked. We actually chit-chatted a little bit before the interview, just so I knew that I didn't want them to get on here and me hit them with a bunch of questions that they suddenly are like just utterly slammed by or anything like that. But I did. We got to talking. We spent a little time digitally together. They're awesome people. And then we got into the actual like Q&A itself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and watch the interview with Luke and Anna, and I bet you guys will love them as much as I do. So let's go to that, and we'll see you in a little bit. All right, so here I am with Luke and Anna Kimbrough of TikTok fame, the D&D married couple, as what I call them. I don't know if that'll stick, if I can make it into a thing, but they are actually at banana_K and at tumid_links, which I'm going to ask. Obviously, banana at least has some of your name.
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna ask about Tumid links. That's gonna come up as to what kind of handle is that. My first email address is the Peach, so I get it. Sometimes they just stick, but there's always a story.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I'm here with Luke and Anna, and as I mentioned earlier, as you guys get to see, they make some really cool TikTok stuff. And one of the very first things that I fell in love with when I started kind of diving into the D&D TikTok hole. Thank you, Rick, by the way, for bringing me into this this strange 1 minute long cult. But yeah, so let's hear from you guys. Let's find out a little bit about you guys before I start asking you the deep, dark questions that everyone, or at least me, wants to know about.
Oh yeah.
So, what tell us about yourselves. We want to know a little bit more about you before we start getting into stuff.
Okay. So I do communications for a job. I was a creative writing major in college. That's pretty much it about my life right now. That and TikTok. I love dogs. I was homeschooled. That's a fun fact about me. I was homeschooled all the way through except for my junior and senior year of high school, I went to a community college that counted as college
Really?
as well as high school credit. So
Wow, that's awesome. You're so well adjusted. I would never.
I know, it's shocking.
yeah, I think there's multiple types of homeschoolers, and there's the people that you can tell that they were not socialized well.
Well, and I think that that's going to change dramatically, especially now with this whole everybody and their brother is scared. I mean, my wife and I, we had to make the conversation of, do we send the kids back in August, or do we try and school them here? Please, gods above and below, we do not school them here. But we had to talk about it, and I think that that whole, I made the joke of the well-adjusted homeschooler. I think that's going to go away because it's a real thing now. There's a lot of people that are going, nope, we're going to do the online schooling. We're going to make it happen because they don't want sick kids. And I get it, kind of. Like I'm like, can I buy enough NyQuil to make it worth my while? I joke. Continue. I'm sorry. I interrupted you with some hot Corona news.
What else? What else is there about me that's interesting?
Now you said that you like dogs, but you guys don't have one yet.
No, that is the saga. So we lived in an apartment for a couple of years that didn't allow dogs. So that's why we didn't have one initially. And then we moved into this house last April and started looking for a dog. And we've gone through 6 different rescues. And every time it was like, oh, we approved your application, but someone else adopted the dog that you wanted. And then when COVID happened and everybody got quarantined, there was a rush on adopting dogs. Yeah. And rescues ran out. Like they literally were like, we don't have anyone for you to adopt. So then we went to a breeder, and the dog we were supposed to get through the breeder passed away. And so we're still waiting.
Now, was this before or after the natural 20 to get the puppy?
So we had put a deposit down on the puppy that passed away before we did that video. So we thought we were going to get that dog, and we were supposed to pick her up in like a week. When we did that. And I didn't expect it to blow up, but it did, and now it has like 2 million views, and 2 million people think we're getting a dog, and we are. It's just going to be like another month.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So. Well, I think that the puppy saga is awesome. Like I have 2 big dogs and then my cats, but I anytime someone is on the hunt for a new 4-legged friend, I am always behind. So, Luke, what about yourself?
Well, I'm just basically a very basic nerd. I love video games, board games, all that. Also plants. Very avid plant lover or plant dad. We have a whole wall that Anna posted a video about our new plant shelf.
I saw that. I was very impressed.
Yeah, it's great. It's so nice. But I was also homeschooled all the way through. I went to community college after I graduated high school.
Yeah, he's less well adjusted.
Yeah, less well adjusted by far.
It was those 2 years that did all the adjusting.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to school for a degree in biology, specifically botany, to work with plants. So, for
the people at home that don't know, that's plants.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Most of you know that because we just talked about plants, but I'm hedging my bets. Occasionally, you never know who's diving down the YouTube hole. So, all right. Like I mentioned, I found you guys because my buddy Rick from Rick Rolls America, at Rick Rolls America on everything, he got sequestered for the quarantine very early into his cross-country, cross-world Rick Rolls America trip that he kickstarted last year. And when he got stuck in the motels, he found himself on TikTok and really has done very well for himself. And during one of our Spelljammer games, he kind of poked me and was like, you need to get on TikTok. You need to, go out there and look at there's gamers out there. There's miniature painters. You need to do some stuff out there. And I hemmed and hawed, and I didn't want to do it. And all my exposure to TikTok was my daughter doing stupid dances in front of the phone. Who is 12, by the way. So this was the whole thing. I'm like, why am I going to join her on this app? That's silly. And I took the plunge, and I kind of got sucked in. And you guys were probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 videos that I actually like. You do the scroll thing, but then you find one or two that you actually do want to watch. And you guys are probably like the 15th or so video that I actually did find and was like, oh, I like this. And I watched it. And then I clicked on, it was actually through Anna, through banana_K. And I stayed there for a while watching you guys, which sounds really creepy now that I say that out loud. Now that that's, I just stayed there watching it. The internet. And so I really kind of fell in love with what you guys were doing. And I told my wife about it. I showed her one of the videos, and she's like, that's great. So now she's trying to get us to do it around the house, which is, to not do it on camera seems weird, but she's got the kids signed up for it. They're down. They're like, we can make you guys do things if we roll dice. I'm like, oh no. That's not the moral of this story, guys. But at the end of the day, really what it came down to is you guys had a very original, to me anyway. I mean, I had never seen anyone do anything like that before, and I loved it. I thought it was just a really kind of it was very sweet, cute, minute-long chunks of, sometimes less, of you guys. Every gamer out there at one time has turned themselves into a game, turned life, or been like, what would I be if I was a D&D character, or whatever. And you guys have kind of turned it around the other way. What if D&D was real life? And I love it. I absolutely, I think that it's a fantastic, and for all the people out there that aren't on TikTok, even if you don't like make any content or deep dive or anything, go check them out. Like I said, I know that I already showed you guys a little taste during the intro to the video, but go and hop on and give them more likes, give them more views. Maybe give me more likes and views too while you're at it. That would also be nice. But it's not about me today. It's not about me. It's about well, the sun went down. Weird. Did it change my? No, I guess my camera is smart enough to alter my brightness. Yay for camera smart. So totally tangent. So I've written down just a handful of questions that I wanted to ask you guys. Some of them I think you're probably going to have very, very easy sort of just answers for. A few I'm looking to get at least one where you have to look at each other and kind of like have that like sort of married mental thing. But do you have currently on your persons a D20?
No.
Not currently. Okay. So what I'm gonna say is, and I don't either. Seriously. Okay. What I was gonna say is that if we come up with a question that you guys can't answer, you need to roll for it.
Yep.
I do have. There's
probably one within reach somewhere.
I was gonna say mine's in like a box behind me that I'd have to dig through, but then I would get full frame, and nobody wants to see that. There we go. Ooh, fancy.
These are my big ones.
Whoa. Oh, they have like scroll work on them. Those are really pretty.
Yeah, no, they're just like some pretty basic things. I mean, it's just.
No, but it's got like some extra little artsy stuff on it. That's really pretty. Yeah. Who makes that? I'll give him a shout out.
Wiz Dice. I got it off Amazon, so.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'll while I'm doing my editing, I'll see if I can't find them. I'm gonna write that down. And is it WIZ?
Yeah, WIZ. Dice.
All right. I'll give him a shout out if I find him, and because that's a cool looking die. So the first question that I would ask any couple like ever would be, how did you guys meet?
So I was in college, and he was. How do we even start this conversation? Like,
Well,
it's weird. So I was in college and I was a freshman, and I met his brother who was my age. And he wasn't in college. Luke wasn't in college, and his brother wasn't in college, but they lived in the area.
Okay.
So they hung out on campus because that was the fun place to be when you're not in college but you're college age.
Absolutely.
So we were part of like a church group, and that's how I met his brother. And his brother invited a bunch of people over one night. It snowed. That's what it was. It snowed. And he invited everybody to come over to his parents' house to sled because they have this huge hill. Huge heel.
Southern's coming out.
So I went over and I met him there at his parents' house. And then we were friends for 7 months.
7 to 8 months, somewhere around there.
8 months before we started dating.
Okay. Now, if you don't mind me asking, how long ago was that you guys met?
Over 5 years ago.
It was
okay.
It was February of 2015.
It was 2015.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, over 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We met February 26th of 2015.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, look at you down to the exact date. Wow.
Yeah.
How do you know that it was the 26th?
So someone took a photo of like a snowman that people had made.
It was a snow bear.
A snow bear, excuse me. A snow bear. And like the photo was dated on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So I found the date. And I remember the 26th because exactly 7 months later, because in September 26th is when we officially started dating.
Yeah.
You guys still remember the date you started dating?
I don't.
Awesome.
That's one of the. I don't know how.
No. That is awesome. That I am not poking fun in any way, shape, or form. That is fantastic. I know I could look it up. Like if Natalie like cornered me and gave me an hour and be like, you've got 60 minutes to tell me when we started dating, I could find it, but I definitely would not know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, we also have a video.
Pretty awesome.
His brother made him ask me out on that day. That also helps
because that was
there's video footage of him being forced to actually ask me out to like be exclusive.
So the thing was, I was just a weird kid in that I was like, I really like you, I want to date you, but I'm not mature enough for you yet. Like I need some time. Like, let's keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, he had this whole spiel, like he wrote it down and was like, I really like you, but I don't think that I'm ready for this.
I'm not
like,
mature
this
enough.
Emotional investment. But then he continued to date me. Like nothing changed. Like,
nothing changed. He just wanted to make sure that
we were still going on dates, and he was still like.
You gave her the "It's not you, it's me" speech while dating.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know what I'm surprised she stayed with me with that, but she did. And then my brother was like, "Look, Luke," it just basically went slap me across the face. It's like, y'all are already dating. Just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, you're right. And so he like got a video. You got your phone or his? He just took his phone and just recorded me asking her out officially
for posterity.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love that story. That's fantastic. How did you guys can do this separate or you can do it together. How did you guys get into gaming?
Well, I've always been a bit of a gamer. Before I met her, I was not as hardcore. I was just fresh into it. I was just starting to find tabletop games like Munchkin and a bunch of other ones like that. And like, because Munchkin was my first board game I ever bought. But then I started getting into heavier stuff like Blood Rage by Cool Mini or Not, and all of those different things. But And you never were like super into all the games that I played.
Yeah, so when we met, so growing up, my family wasn't big into games. That was just not something that we did. And my brother moved out when I was 8 because he's 10 years older than me. So I was basically essentially an only child growing up because I was the only kid at the house.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anyone to play games with me besides my parents, and they didn't like it. So I didn't really get into games until college when I had a group of friends who were all nerds, and we would have game nights like at least once a week. We'd go over to somebody's apartment and play games.
That's fun.
And it was just like really wholesome, like good fun,
What have I been missing?
Like the party scene was not my thing.
Okay.
I didn't go to a single party in college, and I don't regret that. Our parties were just playing board games.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I started getting into board games, and then he introduced me to like Skyrim and
Breath of the Wild.
So we got a console. My brother gave me a Nintendo Switch when we got married. That was his wedding gift to us.
Aww.
So I started playing a lot of video games after that. But that was the first console I'd ever had. So
yeah. So, but we got into D&D after we got
married. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the summer. It was like the next spring after we were married, because we got married December of 2017. So spring of 2018. An old classmate of mine who I was still close friends with, he was like, "Hey, I'm starting up a D&D campaign, and I know you had like shown interest while we were in class and like all this stuff." Because I'd looked into it and I was like, "Yeah, this is pretty confusing," and I didn't have anyone really walk me through it. So, but he called me up and was like, "Hey, I would like you to join, and if your wife's interested, like she can come too, and well, you guys can come over one day and I'll help y'all build characters." And that was the little kick I needed, or we both needed, to get into it.
Yeah, and I think the reason he started doing it is because he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Or he'd had knee surgery and he couldn't move. So he was like, I have to be stuck in one spot, so I might as well run a campaign.
Oh, he being your friend.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you. I was like, dude, that's not something you just like pass up.
No. The guy who was the DM for that. And so that's like why he started doing it.
Had a whole lot of extra free time.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that there's a lot of new D&D games that started in the last 6 months. A lot of people had some extra time on their hands. What is your guys' like favorite aspect about gaming in general? Not necessarily specifically D&D, or we can separate it out, but just like the I on the channel I talk a lot about what gaming does for me and what I hope gaming does for other people. So I kind of would like to know maybe what it does for you. This gives an opportunity to literally hear from people who are gamers, and I kind of want to know what's your favorite part of gaming.
Okay.
I thought you would want to do this one first.
Oh, okay. I can go first then. Yeah. For me, it's the problem with everything with COVID, what's happening. My favorite aspect of gaming is the player interaction, to be with my friends, to have this one thing that we're all gathered around, to be able to just have fun and laugh and talk and play. And I know there's like Tabletop Simulator, all these other things that still you can play games, but it's just not the same for me. It's like, so, but that's one of the bigger things that I take away from that, is being able to hang out with someone or multiple people to just play a game, be a D&D or just a general tabletop game or video game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I really like strategy. So I don't like, it's weird because I like strategy, but I don't really like games that take 3 to 4 hours because the strategy is so intense. I don't know. I think I like the challenge, and I'm very competitive. So I like that aspect of don't give me that. Yes, I'm very competitive. And I do like the interaction. I will say that there's times where like people are too slow for me sometimes in strategy games, where I prefer games where it's like quick and easy. you know, like, you know, you can take your turn and the next person can keep going. And it doesn't take like 15 minutes for one person to take a turn, and you like can get a snack, have a potty break, like, you know, like
100% understand. And there are so many games out there that like you want to look at somebody and go, you've had 30 minutes while everyone else is playing to know what you're going to do. What do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why aren't you? Well, I didn't know what you were going to do. It doesn't change anything. Most recently, I don't know if you've played the Dune board game from, I believe it's Gale Force 9, I think, did it. First off, it's gorgeous. It's a great game. And if you're into the books at all, it follows very religiously all the little aspects of Dune. But it is a very in-depth, like your turn in and of itself might only be like maybe 5 minutes long. But if you got up and left the table and you weren't paying attention to what other people were doing, you might as well just basically say that you're a wild card and you're not actually. I'm only here to roll dice against other people. I don't care what happens. It is you really have to think about what's going on game. But that recently is the game that made me lose my shit on somebody at the table, because I'm like, these turns take, the game only lasts 10 turns.
Yeah.
These turns should take maybe 30 minutes tops if everybody is just dragging on, and your turn has taken 10 of it. You're killing me, kid. So yeah, I totally get it. You want the strategy, but you also don't want someone to sit there and pore over every single detail of their turn 10 times over to make sure they don't make any mistakes. Ugh. Yeah, I didn't even think about asking about what's your least favorite part of gaming. That's a great question. I mean, obviously, right now it's that nobody can.
Yeah.
It's I'm right there with you. I complain every week on the channel that I don't get a chance to play my games except for through a camera. Even though my state has apparently lifted a bunch of regulations and we're allowed to get together in groups of 10 or so, it's still very awkward, considering also one of my gamers, one of my close guys, and my playtest group, he actually had it. He's been through it and it's all well. He never had to go to the hospital or anything. It wasn't for him. It wasn't that bad, which is great. But it does make for a very awkward. I don't want to go to your house right now, Chris, because you had the Rona, yo. It could be lurking somewhere in your home. All right, so I'm going to change gears a little bit, and I have to ask, and this is very important because this is what brought you into my life. Is what brought on the DM married to a DM marriage, the family with dice videos. Like what made these happen?
Honestly, I don't remember what sparked the idea. I know we were listening to a podcast, my brother and me.
Yeah, with the McElroy brothers,
who do the Venture Zone podcast.
Okay.
And so this is their non-D&D podcast where they just talk about ridiculous things. And I don't even know what they said. Something about like rolling the dice. I don't know. It sparked my brain. And it wasn't specific. It wasn't the same idea that we had, but it made me think about what if you did have to like roll the dice for like what if D&D was real life, and like, how we roll for initiative and everything, but what if like you had to roll initiative for just like a normal argument that you were having? Like, what if we were normal people and we still had those stats and all of that, and that actually determined our life? So that sparked the idea for the first video. And then it blew up overnight. And we were like, wow, people actually really like this. And I had no idea that D&D was a big thing on TikTok. Like, I had never I wasn't even really into TikTok. It was just hey, this would be a funny video, and TikTok's a way to share it.
Yeah.
Vine doesn't exist anymore, so let's do this.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So it wasn't until that went like viral basically, that I was like, okay, so maybe there's something here, and maybe we should just keep doing this because it's really fun, and it's like, you know, D&D is a big part of our lives. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how it started.
That's awesome. Like I said, it's what I latched on with you guys when I saw the first one I saw was like the third or fourth of your series, like, because again the algorithm just kind of throws it out at you at random.
Yeah.
But it made me deep dive back and found the one where you had your character sheet up, where you're like doing the little bouncy character, which is adorable. I see a lot of those the choose your character type things. But yeah, you guys have come up with a lot of really fun things. This morning when I was trying to find the video that I wanted to show everybody, or that I have shown everybody at this point, I found the one where you made her make a survival check to go to the bathroom. I could not stop laughing. Because it was, honestly, Anna, it was your response. You're like, to go to the bathroom? like one of those, are you serious? You know, come on. So I do want to ask though, and you feel free to roll a deception check. Are the roles literally like before you sit down to do your video? Do you kind of know what you're going to do? Like, is it a little scripted, or is it one of those you throw the die and go, I'm going to go do something silly for TikTok?
So it depends on the video.
Okay.
I would say we have a rough idea of what we want to do, and then we just go for it and see what happens. And sometimes the first try, like there's a video that we did yesterday, I haven't posted it yet, but we're like, what if we did just this kind of, we like had the idea, we went with it, rolled the dice, and we just kept that first take. We didn't do a single take after that. And then sometimes it's like we roll the dice and it's like, well, it's kind of in the middle.
It's like you rolled an 11 and it's like
that's not definitive enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then sometimes it'll be like, well, that's like a mixed success, and then I'm like, how do I play that out? So and then sometimes we're like, okay, we definitely want this to succeed, or we definitely want this to fail, based off of like that we have an idea for the end result.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering because I knew some of them couldn't be too much edit magic because like it was like really smooth transitions. like that's a gorgeous edit. And as someone who plays around with video, that would piss me off. It's like, you guys did great. You know, because I apparently get angry at people's success. But yeah, I was wondering because I knew there's a few of those, a few of them. Obviously, one of my favorite videos, and I didn't grab this one because I know I wanted to talk. I knew I was going to talk about it. One of my favorite one is the one where you guys did the random roll date.
Mm-hmm.
It 100% it made me love you guys as a couple. Again, this video is getting weird. It made me want to stalk you as humans. But no, it made me really look at your guys's relationship and like the TikTok nature of it and what you're doing, and you're kind of making your own way during this weird quarantine time, you know, having your own fun. And that video, so I'm running my mouth about a video that you guys don't know about, viewers. They basically did a night out, a quarantine date, where all of their decisions were made by dice. So like how they were going to be dressed, what they were going to eat, is it going to be fancy? And you guys ended up dressing really nice and getting pizza, if I remember correctly, and like eating pizza in the car or something along the.
I think it was. I don't remember now.
I think we ended up. I don't remember what we ate.
You rolled really high for getting dressed up because you guys looked. You dressed up to the nines. You looked good, and then for food, you rolled like mediocre at best. And I remember like it was like you guys ended up eating just normal like drive-through type food in the car
I think so.
while looking amazing.
No, we'll have to. Obviously, we're struggling.
You've done a lot of videos since then,
Yeah.
but it was that sort of just kind of honest. I loathe to use the word wholesomeness because that really sounds just very Care Bear fluffy. It's just so wholesome. But it was just a very honest. You guys had an honest evening based on a couple of die rolls and shared that with your viewers and now my viewers and everyone else's viewers. And I at that moment is when, you know, I already loved your stuff, but it was at that moment that I was like, I kind of want to know them as people, like not just personalities as, you know, tumid links. Which I am taking this moment now to stop wowing about you, stop gushing as you at people. I'll save more of that for later. So tumid links, what is?
All right, so my brother used to live with these two other brothers. They both lived in the same town that I was living in, but they lived in this double-wide trailer, and it was my brother and these two twin brothers, and they were hilarious, and all of them were super into video games and whatnot. And we would have zombie nights where I would come over and we'd play Black Ops Zombies, like Black Ops 2 Zombies, for literally hours. And we would try to unlock the Easter egg in the Origins map for those who know about that one. But all of their usernames were Tumid Donkey, Tumid Falcon, like all these just stupid silly, I didn't come up with this whole Tumid idea, but I was like, you know, I need to have one for myself, so I was like, Tumid Lynx.
And that's just kind of, that stayed with you.
Yeah, and it's like lynxes are cool animals, like people don't really talk about them because they're not the super well known. I was like, yeah, Tumid Lynx.
They're like the super fuzzy footed bobcat.
Yeah.
Now, because you guys are based out of North Carolina.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty. Not again, stalker. I'm finding you. No, so you guys actually do have lynxes and things in your.
We have bobcats.
You have bobcats. Okay.
We don't have lynxes. Are much more north. Those are upper Canada, like Montana. Area.
Okay. I'm showing my lack of great cat knowledge. We have the very, very occasional puma in southern Indiana. Like I'm almost too far north in Indiana before we see any of them.
Yeah.
I think maybe once every 5 years somebody will say something about, hey, there was a mountain lion in our backyard, and more often than not, it's someone who had an exotic pet that got out.
Yeah.
So we don't have any great cats here. I mean, we have lots of pretty awesome cats, but not necessarily any great cats.
Yeah.
It's like the pretty good sword. You know, it's not the great sword, but it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's a pretty good sword. It's not. What the hell am I doing? All right. So talking about TikTok and the like, with you guys having millions of followers or millions of views, I should say.
Yeah.
You're not up to that weird guy who did the leg dance, who my wife is now in front of the leg. That guy. Apparently he's a WWE star, and he's on TikTok, and that's why he's got 5.7 million followers, is because every week people see him on TV.
Yeah, makes sense.
So. Where are you guys at followers right? Woo! All right. Try that again in English. Where are you guys at followers wise currently?
I think 86,000.
86 maybe. Let's see. 86.3 thousand.
That's crazy. That's amazing. Up until I literally begged for followers this weekend. I don't know if you saw my video. I actually begged. I was like, guys, I want to be able to go live, please. I can stop at 1,001 viewers or followers. I just need to be able to go live. I was at almost 86. So the fact that you are literally 1,000 times the followers that I had before this weekend is crazy. How long have you guys been doing the TikTok thing? Like, I only knew TikTok was a thing for a few months.
Yeah, I think we posted the one that went viral.
Early March?
No, it was May.
Early May?
I can pull up the date exactly. Let's see.
I know, because we've been on TikTok we started TikTok in like April, and we were just like posting just random, just not D&D related funny videos.
Yeah.
The one that went viral was May 11th.
That's crazy.
And I had like 100 followers until that point. And when that one went viral, I gained like 20,000 followers in like a day.
Yeah.
And then it was like a huge jump at first, and then it's been like a steady climb ever since.
So what you're saying is I need to find my viral video, and there's hope for me yet. Is what you're saying is I shouldn't just like wring my hands of the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah. It's the way the algorithm is. It's like you just never know what's gonna get picked up and what's gonna go viral. Like I had no idea that was gonna go viral.
Now, which was the one that went crazy?
It was the first one we did that was D&D. It ends with me like saying I love you, and he makes me do a charisma check, and I roll a 1, and he said, "Oh, you hate me."
Yeah.
You hate me. All right. Okay. So now I do know. Very recently, you guys had a one that you did a commercial effectively.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you looking at, like, with your 86 bazillion followers, are you thinking about continuing and trying to find more ways to monetize your TikTok? And I don't want to say like I hate to use the term professional influencers or anything like that, but like cogs in the TikTok machine, but paid cogs. Have you thought about trying to reach out to some more people and get some sponsorships? I mean, like, legit, there's a lot of companies out there that probably would love to, if they knew that you had millions of views multiple times a day, and almost 87,000 people that would be emailed when you say, hey, there's a thing. Have you thought about reaching out to some people and you being a paid TikToker?
Honestly, no. I've had a few people reach out to me and ask if I'd be interested, and I'm always interested in like hearing what they want me to do for them. But I don't want to ever, like, obviously D&D is why people love watching our stuff. Like that's what they come back for. And I don't ever want to like lose that focus of like, I just want to do this to make people laugh. And I don't want to become someone who's like pushing merchandise at you. Like,
all right.
So I think it needs to be, I'm willing to like advertise if it is something that I'm passionate about as well. Does that make sense? Like the advertisement we did was for D&D Live 2020, which was like a quarantine version of D&D that these famous people were doing, and all of the proceeds went to Red Nose Day, or like it's basically I don't really understand like how it's like British Day that they raise money for different causes, and I think the cause changes every year, and this year it was for COVID.
Which side note, quick thing, congratulations to my buddy Satine, who won her thing, her chunk of D&D Live. She ended up being the last finalist. So
nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we advertised for that because that's something that I wanted to watch anyway. Like it was something that I would have advertised without being paid to do it.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of where I'm at right now, because I have a full-time job and I don't have time to put in a whole lot of effort. And I feel like I would need to put in a lot more effort to our TikToks if I was making money off of them. And I don't know. So maybe down the line, if there becomes some kind of like some brand reaches out that I'm like, wow, you're really cool, and I like can get behind their mission, then yes. But I'm not going to actively seek it out right now.
No, I'm waiting. I'm going to pause for a second, and I'm waiting for Luke to be like, absolutely, I would sell it in a heartbeat. No.
My account, however.
So, I mean, have you thought about where you want to take? I mean, do you just want to kind of want to keep making the same? This, I don't say the same, make the same old videos. But have you thought about making going into other types of media, like a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel or anything like that, or possibly make products? Make some D&D married couple T-shirts. Get a Tumid Links stuffed animal. I look at I'm sure you guys have seen him, the Black Viking on TikTok. He's a cosplayer who's very heavy into kind of the Norse pantheon as far as like his own personal belief, which
Yes.
I can get behind dramatically. But he's starting to make T-shirts for himself, and like he's selling them through, I think it's maybe through an Etsy store, through his girlfriend's Etsy store, and they're doing well. I mean, like he seems to be, he's kind of monetized his image, and I don't know if anybody could do that, but I know that as things progress, would you think about getting, because you have a hell of a fan base, I've been doing this gamer crap thing for 20 years and I don't have 87,000 people that follow me, so like or at least for the right reasons anyway. It just makes me wonder if there's other things that you could do with this kind of niche fame that you've created for yourselves.
Well, as far as the first part of like branching out to different social media platforms, we talked about on multiple different live videos, mentioned like different comments that people asked us, like, do you have a YouTube channel? Like, are y'all going to do live streams, stuff like that? And yes, we are going to do that. The thing that had been holding back is I had needed a new computer because I was going to run all the stuff through that, and I was going to live stream through Twitch, record it with OBS, and then post it to YouTube so that people can watch it that missed the live stream. But I needed a new computer to do that. But a friend, and I was going to buy one from a friend of mine, and I just didn't have the money, but he was like, hey, just take it and pay me back. So I now actually have the laptop. So we've been trying to get set up, and we're eventually going to open up to TikTok, the people who want to, this kind of application. Like you put in like what times works best for you during the week. And I would basically just run through a few one-shots, maybe one couple, 2-3 shot campaigns just for people who want to play. And maybe eventually I'd like to invite some of the more well-known D&D TikTokers like KC20, Sooner or Later, like all those folks, and just have something that would be fun just to see all the, I guess, more well-known D&D TikTokers play D&D. Obviously, they're way cooler than we are, but I mean,
would not be so quick to judge. I think that they would be happy to join a digital table with themselves. So don't and don't sell yourself short. I think that you're gonna do just fine. And I can speak for myself, and I could probably speak for Rick. I'm going to, even if I can't, I'm going to. That we would be unbelievably happy to join in such an endeavor. Rick will play anything, anywhere, at any time, which is why I feel confident that I can mention to him, or I'll kind of sideways be like, hey, the guys who do the D&D married couple thing, yeah, he's gonna, Luke's gonna start a game every once in a while, and he wants to play. Really? I've got a character like. He probably has. So, quick tangent about our dear Rick. Rick had he did a Kickstarter last year for a collection of NPCs. Basically, it was just a book of NPCs. So if someone needed someone to stand in at the bar, or hey, I need a character sheet for tonight for this guy, and I'm still not sure why it didn't take. He canceled it way early. I think he should have stuck it out. But it was a good idea because it was basically like just a collection of like 50 characters, backstories of various levels, and most of them were characters that he either has played in the past or wants to play at some point. And so it was a collection of like these ideas because we're, you know, as gamers, happens to us all the time. Is that, you know, like watching a TV show or something and be like, oh, I really wish I could make that guy, but as an orc, you know. It happens. I've got a hard drive full of NPCs that I'll probably never use. You know, it's just the way that we work. You know, as creatives, you can't stop it sometimes. And Rick is 100% that person. The make a character. He'll sit down and make 10 characters, and you know, the first one was the one that he was asked to make, and the other 9, they're the backups in case things don't work out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
always have to have a backup.
Oh yeah, just in case. Whereas I'm normally the opposite. I will dive headfirst into a character, and it's my favorite thing, and I love this guy so much, and I can't wait. And then like 6 sessions later, I will be like, man, I really kind of wish that I was playing something else. I'm not as bad as one of my best friends. I mentioned Chris with the Rona. He was, you could almost time when in a game session he was going to try and get his character killed. About every 3 sessions, you would be like, it's about time for Chris to recycle and get a new dude. So, and you could almost tell because you'd be like, why are you doing this? And he's like, I'm honor bound to fight. You have never been honor bound to do anything before. Why are you suddenly standing up for the townspeople? All that gold in your pocket, that's from last town's townspeople. What makes these guys special? Well, I kind of want to play a pistolier. I found this class online. Oh, so that's what's happened. Suddenly one of your guys has a death wish. Okay. So you actually just sort of answered my question. My next question is, I was going to say, have you ever thought about running or playing or being part of online gaming? Being a part of, you know, there's, because at this point, just this morning, was it Deviant at Deviant DM or Deviant Joe or Deviant something? So one of those Deviants. Yeah. He's running a game on Twitch that's all TikTokers. And he posted up a video this morning that during the middle of their game, I guess it's just a little 1-minute thing. So he took like a clip of their Zoom game where he had invited one of the like cosplay, I run an alchemy shop TikTokers to be the alchemy shop guy when they went to the next town. So like I was like, that's so great. They went to this town and suddenly this other box opens up in the Zoom meeting, and it's this cosplay alchemy shop. Welcome to Kajit's place. Where you see my wares. And I was like, that's awesome. I would love, I mean, it adds a little bit of theatrical kind of oomph to an online game where you're just a square head in a box. You know, and so I reached out to the guy and I was like, you know, where are you at? You know, where I want to watch more of this if you do this a lot. And he's like, well, I just recently started doing the kind of guest star thing. And I told him, I was like, if there's anything I can do for you at all, you know, show up and yell at I'll paint myself green and be an orc, whatever. You know, like, I was like, whatever you need me to do. I was like, I just kind of, it's interesting. I dig the idea of, especially in a digital format where literally at the push of a button, suddenly there's a new person in the room. It's much harder to do in real life because if everybody's there at the game table and you're like, hey, who's the weirdo in the kitchen? Don't worry about that guy. He's just here to eat our Cheetos. You know, like they're gonna know something's up. You know, especially if it's somebody who is, you know, recognizable or famous, or you know, even if it's TikTok famous, they're gonna know that person. When you're like, hey, Hannah Shooter's in the kitchen making a sandwich. Why? Why is she making a sandwich during our game? Shouldn't she be playing? Oh, don't worry about that. Like, we'll talk about that later. Like, they're obviously going to know something's up, but if they can just click a button and go boom, and then Hannah's there, where you have that kind of wow moment, I'm finding a new love for the online gaming. And it's not just because it's the only gaming that I can get right now. I'm actually finding different aspects of it that I wouldn't have thought of before. In my Spelljammer game, there is a guy who's playing a hobgoblin effectively. Oh, sorry, it's not a hobgoblin. I did it. He keeps mistaking himself as a hobgoblin. He's a bugbear, and he's basically just a mercenary. He's a big thug. And in one of the very first sessions, he bossed around a bunch of goblins who were pickle vendors. And that's right, you heard me right. Goblin pickle vendors. And it became a running gag that Grazak was going to become the pickle baron of Halastoop. And so I found a title card there's a place in Key West called the Pickle Baron that they make pickles. It's just a little side, like a little thing. And I reached out to them. I had to call them because I was going to use their image. So I called their establishment and was like, "Do you mind if I use your logo in my YouTube video?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like, I'm trying to explain this to a couple of Key West pickle salesmen, and I'm like, so I play D&D online, and I want to use your image on YouTube, and they're like Dungeons and Dragons. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what we're talking about here. What's that got to do with pickles? And I was like, it's a long story, but I want to put it up as an image. And he's like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. Like he's like, I don't want to do what you got to do. So I doctored the image up and basically made it so Grazek's the Pickle Baron. But I couldn't do that in a non-digital format. Whereas literally during the video, when one of the players is like, Grazek, you're going to be like the Pickle Baron of Halastoop, I brought the flash card up for 2 seconds. And the players had no idea until they went back and watched the thing. And Ben, the player of Grazek, was like, "Can I have that image?" I was like, 100%. So he's my Pickle Baron of Halastoop. And I couldn't, again, you can have those round the table fun gags, but there is something to be said for during the middle of a game, if I'm having a hard time at describing a particular NPC, but I've got a picture on my hard drive, I know he's there, I can just go, okay, hang on a second, I'm gonna share my screen with you. This is what he looks like. Okay, and now everybody knows exactly what it is. And then some of that is, of course, thieving, taking off of DeviantArt and stuff. And I try to give credit where credit is due, but since no one here is paying to play, it's technically open content. Sorry, getting into legal weirdness. But I like the idea of, it takes a little more planning, and there's a technological aspect aside. Like, you had to get your new computer, I had to get my computer to play nice with video. There is a different aspect of it. For my very first session, for the first 20 minutes of the game, no one could see Jake. He was there, but everything was so dark that it was like, of the 6 people, it was office, and you'd see everybody in their office, and then there's kind of this outline of a guy in his living room. We had to tell him during one of the potty breaks, like, Jake, is there any way you can turn lights on in your house or anything? He's like, why? I'm like, because no one can see you. He had no idea, because he had his image turned off of Zoom. So he had no idea what anyone else was seeing when it came to him. All right, so the last kind of question we're running to where I kind of want to maybe wrap things up a little bit, is what do you want to do next? Like, where do you? And this is a bold statement. So, are you guys, obviously, besides puppy, are you kind of in the house you want to be in? Are you looking at trying to venture into possibly the professional field, industry wise, start producing adventures? And I know you said you were talking about trying to run stuff. If you're running your own homebrew stuff, take really good notes. You might be able to publish it in the future. Where do you guys see yourselves TikTok D&D or gamers or whatever in 5 years?
That's such a big question.
It is a big question.
I mean,
That's why I saved it for last.
for me, I've always liked being the DM. I mean, when I was not originally the DM for the first few groups first campaigns we played, but then when the guy that was our DM left, he had to move out of town, and his schedule conflicted, so we were never able to pick that campaign back up. I still really wanted to play, and I was like, the only way that's going to happen is if I pick up the mantle of DM, because no one else wanted to, or no one else really had the time to do that. But I would love to maybe like go into DMing professionally, because apparently I've seen things all over, like hire a DM. Like you can literally pay for someone to DM for your group, and it's like either the flat rate or so much depending. And I would love to be more involved in the industry in some way. My notes are terrible, but I'm sure I could probably figure some stuff out. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, it's funny because communications is my job, and I've had to run social media accounts for work before, and I've always said I'll do it because it's my job, but I hate it. So like as soon as someone comes along that we can pass it off to, they can take the social media aspect of it because I hate it. And then somehow I ended up here in my personal life with this like account that went crazy. So I never had any plans of I was not trying to, that was not my end goal of being an influencer or famous in any way, shape, or form. And I don't really know if I'm ever going to want to be like that. I don't know. Fame is not something I sought out, and it's really not something I want. I enjoy like interacting with people in the comments and like doing live streams and stuff. And I like enjoy doing the content that we do. I don't know. I just don't. I think there's that fear in me that, all it takes is you say one thing or you do one thing that people don't like and you're done. And it's so public, and I'm a pretty private person, and that's kind of like my hesitation is like, you put it all out there, people know a lot about you.
Yeah, you keep a very close-knit 87,000 friends. It's a very, very close-knit group.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you help.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think, it's been a month and a half since it took off for us. So it's really not that long. I feel like I need more time to think about the future.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't want to say no, but I don't want to say like, yes, I want to be that person that's like, running a podcast and has a YouTube channel and is like selling things on Instagram. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that. I'll run the podcast. You can just be there. You don't have to run it.
Yeah, that's where I would be the person who's like, I'll drop in and say hi, and then, or I'll help on the back end of things. But
yeah, you'll play in the campaigns.
Yeah.
Well, that's also fun. Like it's not even just a matter of it being like too much work or anything. You're also just playing. You're having a game. You're having a game night. You're having a good time. So that would be a step in the right direction, I believe.
Yeah.
So to point to Luke's point. That's the point like 9 times. If there is anything I can do, I've got a lot of friends, not to like pat myself on the back. I have a lot of friends in the industry. I've been in here a long time. And I am constantly getting involved with various projects here and there. If there's anything that I can do, or if you like have an idea that pops in your head, absolutely feel free to reach out. Hopefully, I'm gonna reach forward in time and be like, we're friends. So it's not really a reach out. It's just, one time while we're talking, you mention it. But yeah, just if there's anything I can do to help, I am always looking for co-conspirators for various projects. I'm supposed to say collaborators, but it's really a conspiracy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know that as things progress, and you mentioned you're running your own games or whatever, if there's anything I can do, or if there's anybody you want me to reach out to on your behalf, 100% feel free to ask so. Ask so? What the hell am I saying? Hey, lunch. It's lunchtime. Fat guy hungry. But so basically, so anybody who's watched my channel at all knows that I'm super big into not like hippie level, but positivity in gaming, and trying to like pass on that positive energy, and if what we're using to escape the doldrums of regular life, if that's not a good thing, like if I go to a game and I'm wearing my Wargamer shirt because I've been putting together 40K stuff all day, but I stopped going to tournaments for a long time not because I didn't like winning or losing, it's because I didn't like the atmosphere. I didn't like the fact that I would go home after a 9-hour tournament and like just collapse on the couch and feel drained, just exhausted. And my wife would be like, "You okay?" I'd be like, she's like, "Did you win?" And I'm like, "No, I did okay, like fourth." And she's like, "Were you jogging all day? Like, why is it shouldn't be exhausting to play games? Especially a game where it's just moving little dudes around." And the same thing is for role playing. I don't want to go to someone's place or to a game store or anything, spend 4 or 5 hours playing what should be an awesome game, and then come home and go, "Man, that 4 or 5 hours I could have spent doing my quarterly taxes and would have had more fun." That's kind of my mission. Is gaming in general should be a step away from real life, whether or not it's our profession, whether or not gaming is my life all day long, every day. But when I do it for fun, I want it to be an escape. I don't want to think about, the Rona. I don't want to think about my kids possibly being homeschooled all the time during the fall. I don't want to have that stuff hanging over my head, in the back of my head, thinking of that bill that didn't get paid this month because I forgot to write the check. I want to set all that stuff aside, and I want to be a British half elf. I want let me step aside. I want to be that Russian half orc. Let me do this for a little while, and then I can get back to real life afterwards. And if gaming and what we do, and I'm including you in this because you're part of this now, whether you want to or not. I'm sorry, Anna, you're part of it. I'm gonna spread you guys around like mayonnaise at a white guy picnic. It's happening. Because I think you guys have a lot to give. There's a lot I think that there are people out there similarly to you a few years ago, before you had found gaming, that might not realize that genuine smile, that the actual, these guys are having fun. They're not struggling through day-to-day life. They're making day-to-day life fun, and gaming is helping them with that. And that's my big thing, is that aside from wanting to leave a mark and have people remember me for this, that, and the other thing, I want, when I eventually heal over and become fertilizer for something, I want the people beyond me to look back and go, "Remember all that cool stuff that Bryan did that made us smile, that made us enjoy this story or this character or this, that, or the other thing?" That's what I want. That's all I want to leave behind. And I think that you guys have a lot of that to leave behind. Not that I'm like planning your deaths or anything. It's just, I think that you have a lot to give. And if there's anything that I can do on a professional level, the Tales of a Professional Nerd, the name of this show, is because I've done a little bit of everything in the industry, from marketing to voiceovers to to the writing, designing, developing, down to the stupid picking what materials miniatures are made out of for the game that I ran. You know, like literally every aspect of it, I've stuck my little fingers in, and I've made a lot of friends along the way. And it does me no good to hold on to those like some kind of weird contact version of Scrooge McDuck. I need to be able to do some good for you guys. And so what I would like to do is everyone knows that the Armor Class 10 apparel company is the sponsor of the show. I want to send you guys a couple of t-shirts from Armor Class 10. So you'll have to let me know what you guys want at some point. But also I do want to extend the open-ended invitation of, if you ever hear anything that I'm doing that you guys are interested in, poke me. Just be like, hey, I'm interested, I'm down. Or if I hear something that comes up that I think you guys might be perfect for, or maybe just interested in possibly being a hanger-on in the process, I will reach out. I give my solemn vow. Is this the Boy Scout one? I don't know. It's been a long. Is this Girl Scouts? Is this Girl Scouts?
I
That's
can't
like
remember.
Hunger Games.
I thought that's. I think Boy Scouts are just 2 fingers.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I made fun of Boy Scouts. So
I was a Boy Scout for like 6 weeks when I was like 10. You know, so that was 30 years ago. I'm with the Hunger Games thing. Okay, I give you my Division 2 or whatever it is. Yeah, no, I really, to get back to the squishy part of it, I think you guys are awesome. And I think that you guys are going to do more for the media side of the industry. And Luke, I think eventually you're going to start doing more for the actual, like, I think people are going to start playing your games. And if I can help make that happen in any fashion, I'd like to. Whether it's just, you know, kind of getting you in the right, you know, the right circle of people, or just spreading you guys around and let everybody know, hey, you know, they're doing good stuff. And that's part of what today was for, is that I fell in love with you guys and I wanted to share you with the world. But yeah, so let me know what t-shirts you guys want. And before we wrap up, is there anything you want to kind of leave my dramatically less, I mean, obviously you guys can make like a TikTok of this and get like a bazillion more views than this is going to hit. But if you, anything you want to tell the fans, and we'll let you guys get back to your day-to-day lives.
Thank you.
Yeah, just thanks for having us. This is great. And I mean, we're just happy that we can help bring some joy, some smiles, and distraction from the real world for a bit. So, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for tagging along. And thank you for being so encouraging. I know we'll definitely take you up on some of those offers.
Some, if not all, for sure.
Yeah.
I absolutely, I 100% mean it. Is if I can't use what I've gathered over my couple of decades in the industry to help out those who are, I mean, I don't want to be like, you're the new up and coming whippersnappers. You know, I don't want to like, you know, I don't want to like make it like seem that I'm 90 years old. But you know, if I can't use my 2 decades of gaming service to benefit other gamers, then what the hell am I doing here? You know, it would be 100% against my whole idea of trying to make gaming a better, positive place if I was like, well, no, I don't want to tell them my secrets. You know, that helps nobody. So I also don't know why my grumpy guy is like a Western. Why? I need food. Fat guy needs food. All right, so it's been awesome, Luke and Anna. Thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to seeing more of your amazingness. Not only on the TikTok, but on other, hopefully, personal levels as well. You guys are great people, and I look forward to hopefully getting to know you better.
Thank you. Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, so for you viewers at home, I'm going to put up how to find them on TikTok right now. And it's also in the description of the video itself, so if you missed that, you can always go back to the main page on YouTube and find it there. So awesome, and we'll see you guys later.
All right, thanks. Bye.